you know, what's going on in Podunk, Washington is.
Oh my goodness, that's hilarious.
Like, what's going on in the world kind of news.
Wait. Oh my gosh, that's hilarious. It's not podunk, it's lovely. If I can get this going.
Yeah, no, we grew up here, so.
All right, so let me not get you
Don't get me wrong, I obviously like Port Orchard.
Yeah.
I don't like a lot of the stuff going on in Port Orchard.
So, I don't know.
Am I recorded right now?
Yeah, you are.
Oh, shit. I mean, oh, heck, okay.
That's a good start. It's definitely a good start. All right, well, thank you so much for doing this. I don't know if Steve told you, for our dissertation, we went on a mission to rehumanize others across difference, and we did fish bowls with 2 different people, so black people, white people, liberals, conservatives, and all that kind of good stuff. And I am under the impression that Republicans don't eat their babies. MAGA people probably don't eat their babies either, but I really want to convince the rest of the world. And so we're trying to just rehumanize people across different opinions because people are not their politics. So with that in mind, tell us a little bit about yourself.
As far as myself?
Yes, yeah, your story.
Nice. Yeah. Hey, Levi. Oh, my story. My goodness. Well, let's see. My parent, like, how far back are we going?
As far back as you'd like.
Basically, I've lived in Port Orchard my entire life. That's 57 years.
Whoa.
So I've been small town, but I've been to Seattle, big time. I've been to Australia, Mexico, Belize. So I've got a little teeny tiny world perspective as well as a small town perspective. And I like to think of myself as like a common sense person, not so much as a left, right, center, but it's like what makes a good, what's common sense, you know? And no, eating babies is not.
It's not something that you do.
And then I don't, you know, everybody's guilty of, like, I would call pigeonholing people.
Sure.
You know, everybody does that. I try not to. I try to give everybody like a first impression kind of thing, you know. And my thought is, you know, if you're a good person, if you're a decent person, then I don't care. I like you. Right. You know, if you're not,
right, then
you're not. You know.
Do you want to?
We're gonna go this way.
Yeah.
We'll go this way.
Okay.
It's kind of a backtrack, but that way we can go all the way down there.
That's all right. No worries.
So that's really, I mean, my political perspectives obviously probably mostly shaped by my parents, but I feel like I was very fortunate because I had excellent parents. Also had great friends when I was growing up. I experienced that small town atmosphere, environment.
Mm-hmm.
You know, there were in this town when I grew up, I played Pee Wee football. There were 2 black families in this entire town. And I was best friends with one of the sons. We played football together and hung out together, and I never looked at him as like a black person. He was just a kid, you know, and that was what was really cool when I was younger. It's like, that's what you looked at. I was like, you didn't really look at black, white, whatever. It's like you looked at a person, you know.
Yeah. No,
and that's the way I look at people now too.
So about I mean, that's awesome. That's where we'd want people to be and people to go. And so you said your parents were formative for your political stances. When did you feel yourself being pulled sort of, okay, I think I'm definitely Republican?
I don't even consider myself really Republican, to be honest with you. No.
Really? What do you consider yourself?
I would consider myself more of a libertarian person.
Mm-hmm.
I am one of those people that looks at, I think there's good ideas everywhere. You know, I think left has great ideas, right has great ideas. It's better to meet, you know, let's meet somewhere in the middle and talk, you know, so we can compromise. And I think that's what's going on that's incorrectly now is nobody wants to talk. Everybody turns into a big hissy fit, a big argument. They kick and scream and cry, and that's not going to get anybody anywhere, you know. So I don't really consider myself ultra conservative. I don't consider myself like liberal, if you want to label me, but I get independent, you know, or common sense. What makes common sense versus politics? You know, is it smart to mow down all the trees? No, right?
Yeah.
So, is it smart to run up a deficit of 37 trillion? No. You know, things like that. Is it smart to stick your nose into everybody's foreign affairs? No. You know, should we mind our own business? Yes. Should we maybe focus on this country? Yes. things like that. Common sense. Common sense in regards to the environment, common sense in regards to policies, whether it's foreign or domestic.
Interesting. And so then that's the kind of thing that made it. So I'm assuming that you voted for Trump?
I did.
Okay, so those are the kind of things, those are the kind of sort of what you call commonsensical things that led you to vote towards him. But have you also always voted Republican?
No.
Really?
If I don't just go whoop, straight
R.
R.
So
Nope.
fascinating to me. Mind blown.
It's a
mind blown.
blow. Absolutely not. Do I agree with everything? My thought on voting for Trump was I could not take 4 more years of Joe Biden. And Kamala said it herself. When they asked her, would you change anything? She said no. So, well, there we go.
What didn't you like about what Biden did?
How long?
The list is long. Okay.
How long do you have?
All the things that you mentioned, just like poking our nose in other people's affairs, just like not focusing on the United States, like those kind of things.
Well, I also looked at his track record during COVID, like the shutting the economies down, mandating people to do things that they didn't want to do. I would call violating your constitutional personal liberties. So I didn't like any of that.
Gotcha.
I don't believe that's up to the government.
Okay.
And I think that's what the government really, whether it wasn't just at the federal level, it was also at a state level too, especially this state.
Gotcha. Okay.
So that's just one thing, and the other part was what we already kind of covered is, overspending. And again, both parties are guilty of that. We'll get that clear.
Yes,
get that absolutely clear. Nobody's hands are clean on that one.
Yeah.
But tendency is Republicans are less likely to do that because they generally are more fiscally conservative. And again, not everybody. So nobody's hands are clean on that deficit.
Interesting. And so are you, in this political environment, obviously we're very divided between conservatives and liberals, Democrats and Republicans. Would you consider your stance, would you openly share your stance and openly share your ideas and opinions, or do you feel a bit vilified?
Oh, I would share my opinion, and I usually do with friends, and unfortunately that's come across in a negative light with some of my not as friendly friends.
What do you mean?
Well, I won't name any names,
yes,
but I'll
don't name any names. We won't tattle on anybody.
Use an example of somebody's wife asked me if I voted for Trump, and I said yes. Mm-hmm. And ever since then, not like why. It's just that I think people literally have TDS. I think it's a Trump derangement syndrome. They hate the man so much, he could cure cancer, and they would still hate him. That's how much I think people are delusional about him. Mm-hmm. I personally I don't agree with most of what he does or how he comes across. I don't agree with that kind of approach. Mm-hmm. But, I agree with, a good 50% of what he's doing. And I had no percentage of agreement with the last administration.
Yeah, this is the second time that I've heard it. When it comes down to two people and they're both equally not great, then you have to go with the people that
that's what I think is,
sense,
and
right?
I think that is one of our big problems in this country is you're forced to choose between the lesser of the two evils.
Yeah.
You actually don't get that, hey, this is a really good third option, it just isn't there.
Okay, so we're gonna.
I have no idea where that goes.
Turn one more time.
Well, we can go down here.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, let's go down here.
Perfect. That's amazing. So then, you feel like you've lost friends based on the way that you voted?
Oh yes, I believe so.
I'm so
well, not
sorry
so
about
much like they won't talk to me anymore, but you just know, just by the way they're talking to you and the less time you spend and things of that nature. You could tell. You can absolutely tell.
What would you want to be able to say to people that shut you down when you say things like, "Oh, I voted for Trump"? What would you wish that you could say to them if you've ever thought about it?
Well, the problem is you can't ask them, because if you ask them, they don't want to. They won't tell you any kind of reality. They'll say, "Oh, he's a Nazi. Oh, he's a fascist," or the same cliche.
Right.
It's like you just can't speak to anybody anymore.
It's not a rational conversation on
Right,
the other end of that.
right.
Okay.
It's
Like
just
this
not.
emotional-
It's a futile effort, is the way
Gotcha,
I would
gotcha.
approach it.
Gotcha.
It is just futile talking to people like that because they just don't want to listen.
Yeah.
And the thing I find funny is I'll listen to some of my friends and acquaintances that vote straight D all the time. All the time. Doesn't matter. And then I'll listen to them sit and complain about, I hate all the crime, the shoplifting, the homelessness, the price of gas. You know, I hate all that stuff. And I'm like, and I just say, well, you know whose policies those are, right? It's the people you're voting for. One person, I actually didn't even mention Democrat or Republican, and he's sitting there and complaining about all these things. And I said, did you ever think that if you voted for somebody different, it might change? Just somebody different.
But how did you become involved? So obviously you do your research and you're thoughtful about the process, but I would say a good majority of people are going with their gut, like the D guy that you just mentioned. And so how did you come into conversations logically about politics? Like how did you decide?
With them?
With you, just with yourself.
With myself?
Yeah, how did you become a thoughtful person when it comes to, okay, I'm going to put some thinking into this, and this is
I feel that if you are uneducated and not aware of what's going on, then you have no room to complain.
And you don't know that you're not educated, though.
And you shouldn't even be voting. I mean, if you just, I'm literally not kidding.
Gotcha.
If you don't have like an open mind and you don't do some research, you shouldn't even vote, because you're just voting along what's parallel, what's ingrained in your brain, like you thought I voted straight R, which I don't. What's ingrained in like Democrats' brain is, that D, oh my God, look at that, that's a great idea, I'm going to vote for that person. You know, versus reading the opinion of that person and researching the track record of that person, and then doing something similar to the person running against them. If you took away the R and the D and you just put this person A and person B are running, find out who they are.
That's brilliant! Why don't we do that? That's amazing!
No, because there's too much money in
That
it.
solves so many things. Okay, we fixed it. We solved it. We solved it here, folks.
Well, the problem is there's too much money in it.
There's too much money in.
There's money in politics, and that's the whole problem. I mean, you're basically look at how much money was spent on the presidential election. Right? I can't remember what she spent. And she spent, I think 50% more than he spent. You know, I said she and he and not.
Yes, no, I like that. I like that.
Yeah,
right?
I mean,
Very
if you
humanizing.
literally
That's
got
what
rid
we're
of the
here for.
R and you got rid of the D and you said person A or person B, and this is what A stands for, this is what B stands for, I bet that would change so much.
That's incredible.
But again, it's always about the money. Sadly, that's what drives everything.
I mean, we are.
You're buying a politician.
That's insane. I've not thought about it that way before.
But the other thing I don't do is I don't listen to the mainstream media. I don't watch a lot. Every once in a while I'll catch some Fox News, but I'm not glued to it, right? I'm not watching it at all. Like 5 minutes a day, maybe I'll catch it because my mom watches it a lot, right? But I hardly ever watch it. I don't watch MSNBC or I don't watch any of the mainstream media, period.
Where do you get your news from?
Alternative sites, alternative news.
Okay.
And I'll take a little glance
Sure,
at the mainstream media,
Yeah.
and I'll look at what they're saying, what their narrative is, whether I'll look at what they call the left mainstream and the right mainstream, and I'll look at the narratives, and then I'll go to the independents, and then I'll look at that. And the reason I believe the independents more is because I've watched the track record of left media, right media, and what's actually happened.
Yeah.
So I don't believe much of anything coming out of the mainstream media. So
There's a lot of puppeteering. You have to admit, it is a lot of puppeteering.
Yeah,
They've got lots of people on strings.
They do.
Which is really
They
hard.
absolutely
Which
do.
is hard to watch. Yeah, which is hard. Which is why we're here.
And I literally think it's intentionally done to divide the populace.
Yeah.
I think it's intentionally done to keep people biting at each other.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then you hold a lot of the same political beliefs as your family?
I would say we're close, but we don't agree with everything. But that being said, if we disagree with something, we're able to have a conversation and explain, like, okay, here's what I disagree with, and here's why I disagree, and here's my evidence of why I disagree with that, and here's my, your thesis, right? And then a conclusion at the end. So you present your evidence, this is why, and then you can go, oh, well, that's a really good argument. Let me look into that, and I'll get back to you, right? Not versus, oh, you Nazi, you racist, you da-da-da-da-dist. So it's a conversation.
You don't feel racist, is what you're saying.
No, not the least bit.
Okay.
And I actually hate that.
I know.
I hate that when I see like the protesters or whatever, generally what I would call the well organized and probably paid for protesters. Chanting that. And they got the swastika on their sign. They don't even know what a fascist is. I mean, they literally have no idea. I majored in history, so they don't have any clue what Nazi Germany was like. No clue. No clue what a fascist was. No clue what a real racist is, at all. But they still will label you, right? Yeah. Like, don't label me that. Yeah, don't even label me that. Yeah. That actually does that annoys me. So
definitely, that hits a nerve. I can understand that, absolutely.
But like I said, I mean, if you're a jerk, you're a jerk, and jerks come in all colors and all flavors. So that's the way I look at a person: is if they're a decent, nice person, then I got no problem with you whatsoever. But if you're like not a nice person, then that's when I'm like, okay, I steer clear.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Is it fun to talk about?
Sure. Yeah, I like it.
You better say yes. I mean,
of course.
No,
it always depends on the person that's giving the interview, also.
Yeah. No. To me, it's all very fascinating. I just think, like I said, I know that
here so we don't get run over.
Oh yeah. I just know that we're storied people. So, and you have kids and family.
Oh, I do not have any kids.
Okay. Ooh.
No kids. Girlfriend for a long time, but we do not have any kids.
Okay, gotcha.
Long time.
Aw, wait, why aren't you married? I'm sure that question comes up.
Never happened.
Gotcha.
If it's not broken, don't fix it.
Okay, I got it. Duly noted.
I actually had a friend that had a girlfriend for like 6 or 7 years. They got married and they were divorced in 6 months. And I asked him, I said, what happened? He said, I don't know, we got married. He said, ruined the whole thing.
No. Oh gosh, no.
So.
That's a 2-for-1-er. To anybody who's watching. Oh my gosh, well thank you. This has been, of course, wonderful. And I always think it's so humbling when people share their stories with me, and I think it's amazing, especially when they have good and thoughtful things to say. So you helped us progress 1 foot forward more towards each other, which is the hope.
Well, I think that's the most important thing, is people need to be able to sit down and have a conversation without turning into what I would call a bunch of grade schoolers and kicking and screaming and yelling. That's not going to get anybody anywhere.
How do we do that?
I don't know. Maybe we need to start washing people's mouths out with soap or something.
Goodness, okay.
But you look like it. If anybody's listening to this and you do that, you look like an imbecile. You sound like an imbecile. You look like an imbecile, and everybody's laughing at you, just shaking their heads and laughing. So kicking and screaming and yelling and calling people names is getting nobody anywhere at all. If you want to sit down, if you want to have a conversation, have a conversation. And then when you're done, if you disagree with the person, hey, that's fine. If they disagree, that's fine. Shake hands and walk away. Say, hey, you know what? We agree to disagree. But I listened to you, which I've listened to a lot of the people that have those perspectives that are different than me. I'll listen. Yeah. It's like if I'm at the gym. I've been working out for 37 years. And if somebody comes up and says, hey, I got a good idea for what you're doing right there. Okay, I'm going to listen to you. I've changed my workout listening to people give me advice.
Sure, of course, yeah.
Listen.
And most people are far more fixed than that. So I think we have to try to get through that as well.
Well, I also think that's been intentionally done.
Gotcha.
I think some side, I'm not going to mention which side, has become very, what I would call militant. very militant. And it's from top to bottom. It's people that are in positions of leadership encouraging it, which is, in my opinion, those people should be removed from those positions of leadership. Because if you're in a position of leadership, you should be saying, hey, let's all get together and figure this out. Yeah. Versus let's all get together and go burn down a city. Or, get together and beat somebody up or vandalize a bunch of cars or things like that. Yeah. And again, it starts at the leadership.
Absolutely. I learned so much talking to you. This is fascinating.
Oh, I don't know if you learned too much.
No, it was great. I love the idea of removing the labels first and then deciding. I feel like people would be lost, right? Because the definition defines what they
It's like, oh my God, I actually have to read what this person stands for?
Yeah.
What a thought.
Yeah, so that's pretty amazing.
And this is probably not a direct quote, but it's probably close. I believe it was Winston Churchill who said, "My argument against democracy is a 5-minute conversation with the average voter." I think that was pretty close. I'd probably have to look that up, but I think that's close. It might not have been Churchill, but I heard that somewhere.
Okay, I won't coach you on it. I'm gonna push us away from here, but for now,
okay.
And then I'm gonna grab you for just a second. And
you got somebody right behind.
End this with with a hug. Thank you so much for your time. I really appreciate it. You've been amazing. Thank you. Yay!